engage in doing the same, couple of persons engage in doing the same task. So it was bringing some kind of chaos or unstructured, should I say, process in the organization, because there was no future plan for the organization.
Great.
Yes.
Great. So in the study, certain keywords stands out. What are the keywords that stands out for you? You mentioned one. One is what?
Organizing.
Organizing is very important for organization. Another one is what?
Planning.
Planning. And a few others that we are going to see. It's good. I thought that everybody did their reading, the case. Just read. When they ask you to read something, please do read. Now, our course is Principles of Money. What is principles? When we say principles, what does it mean? What is the meaning of principle? Felix, what is principles? Beatrice, what is principles?
Okay, madam, please, good morning.
Morning.
And please, I would say that principles is anything that guides you to do certain things right.
Very good.
Yes. Anything that guides you to do certain things right.
Good. So that is principles.
Yes.
A guide. So management is a broad concept. But in our unique course, we are going to understand what are the principles, what are the standards, what are the key things management should be about, what are the things management should be. And then we'll look a little about history, the evolution of management, how it has evolved over the years, and then contemporary issues about management. Now, let me just ask you this before we move on. Let's say that you have come together as students. So at the end of the semester, Abraham, I'm sure Abraham is a class rep, right?
Yes, please.
Abraham says that, oh, let's have fun. Let's organize a party. What is going to go into the organization of the party? Tell me things that you think. Abraham says, oh, let's have a party. How are you going to have the party? What are the things you're going to do? Yes, let's share ideas.
Madam,
to put together.
Yes, put together.
Resources.
Resources, very important. Good. What again?
Madam, we have to plan.
Plan. Very good. You need what again?
But please, you need the venue of the place, the venue.
The venue. And then what again? This is the only venue. What will you need again?
Madam, please, and the time.
Time, the date. Very good. And somebody has said resources. What kind of resources, Felix?
Madam, financial resource.
Financial resources. So management is about planning, having resources, putting resources to better use. And then in our case, the purpose to have what? A party. So we put all the resources, we plan, we organize, we control, we lead, and then be able to achieve our purpose. We want to achieve a purpose. The purpose is that we'll have a party. So it is with companies, organization. They also want to achieve a purpose. And that is very relevant to the sustenance of an organization. Organizations exist for a purpose. Every organization has a vision. That is their long-term plan. They have a mission, what they exist to do. They have goals. And they need resources to accomplish the purpose for which they are set up. So today we are going to look at, I pray that we'll be able to treat 2 topics. That's my prayer. If you're able to do that, I'll be very, very, very happy. So here we take attendance. Don't be late. No phone calls. No talking at the back. One person talk at a time. We don't have right or wrong answer. We are all learning. We are all learning. I encourage you to participate strongly in class. Okay, so at the end of this lecture, I want you to be able to describe the 4 management functions. The 4 management functions and the type of management activity associated with each. There's a very important concept you should understand, the difference between efficiency and effectiveness, and how they impact the organizational performance. Now, when we talk about organization, we are referring to companies, associations, institutions, be it multinational, be it local, medium, small, name them, micro, whatever. Then we'll also be able to explain some skills of management called conceptual, human, and the technical skills, and how they are important to managers. Also describe management types. We have the horizontal management levels, we have the vertical management levels, and then we will explain the differences. We'll look at Meisberg's 10 roles of managers in organizations, which is also categorized into 3 main roles. We'll appreciate managers' role in small businesses and the non-profit organizations, and even micro or large. Then look at some personal challenges. If somebody wants to become a manager, I don't know what you are doing. You are working. Are you in a supervisory or managerial role? But we are interested in how a supervisor becomes a manager. And now in our contemporary world, where technology is changing almost everything we do, we look at the new workplace, the new management competencies that are required, and how to overcome the turbulent environment we work within this world. Contemporary business environments. And then we'll do a comparison between what management and administration is all about. Now we are referring to a company as an organization, but take note that not every company qualifies to be described, not every organization qualifies to be described as a company. Can you give me an example? Not every organization can be described as a company. Yes, example of any company, any organization that you cannot describe it as a company. Yes. Oh, give me an example. So United Nations, for instance, the example of organization, you can't describe them as a company, but you can describe Unilever as a company and also as an organization. So organization is a group of 2 or more people who work together and they coordinate their actions to reach or achieve a goal or objectives. So you probably can set up a company with your friends, 2 or more, so maybe 5. You come together, you put your resources together, and then you must have aim for that, your purpose for it. But in the settings of organizations, when companies are formed, They have to be guided by certain keywords. One of it is efficiency. The other is effectiveness. And the other is better results. That is organizational performance. So organizations are formed, or companies are formed with a motive to achieve a purpose. Pool resources, human, financial, logistics, name them. But the essence of this is that they will be able to be efficient in the utilization of the resources and the results that come out of it, or effective. So what these two keywords, we are going to study them well in the ensuing slides to understand what efficiency and effectiveness is, and the better results is organizational performance. Now, if an organization, a company, wants to achieve efficiency, effectiveness, and organizational performance, what then is the role of the manager in the organization? Not only even though we are looking at managers, but the employees also have, or the subordinates also have a role to play. The CEO has a role to play, managers have a role to play, employees have a role to play. And in our study, you find out some of the topics will be emphasizing the role of the manager. Some will be emphasizing the role of the CEO. Some will be emphasizing the subordinates. So it's a collective thing. You cannot leave out one and have an organizational performance. We have to work synergistically. It's a synergy. We work together. An organization that worth its salt work with every member of the organization. So the role of the manager we are interested now is to ensure that everyone in the organization works towards the achievement of the organizational goals in a very coordinated manner. A coordinated manner. That is why when you go to work, the organization has coordinated manner. It has structures. You don't take your bag and say, I'm coming to sit in the CEO's desk. That's what I like. No, that is not what they have given you. Or you want to do any work. No, you are assigned specific tasks. You have your job description. You have those that you report to. You have your superior or your supervisors that you report to. So there's a coordinated manner. There's a structured process. There's an established norms, rules that guide how the organization works. And the execution of all these things are in the domain of the manager. What are examples of organizations that we are talking about? Hospitals, primary schools, universities, SHS, commercial banks, telecell, other profits or non-profit, or any one that you know. Can you give me examples that you know yourself? Mention some. Yes. Mention any organization that you know. Yes.
Madam, Ghana Gas.
Ghana Gas, wonderful. What again? Everybody should be able to mention something. Yes.
Madam, Ghana Airport Company Limited.
Wonderful. Again, yes.
Madam, Valco.
Valco, wonderful. Great. Yes.
Madam, Ghana Revenue Authority.
Jerry, good. What again?
Ghana Football,
Ghana
Football Association.
Okay, good. Again?
Cocoa Processing Company.
Wonderful. So we all have an understanding of what organizations and the types that we good. Now we have said earlier that the manager has a role, the supervisors have a role, the CEO has a role, the board even has a role, the employees or the subordinates also have a role. They are all employees though. But there's something very peculiar and unique in our business environment today. Can you tell me what is changing our environment so much today? What is changing it? Oh, I've even said it in my previous thing. What is changing our environment so quickly, fast these days? Yes. Oh, don't disgrace me. What is changing our environment so much?
Madam, can I say technology?
Wonderful. Wonderful. Technology, digitalization, globalization, these are changing with technology. In fact, it's because of technology that we are even here today, right? Using the Zoom. So technology is changing almost everything, how we do things. Now, in that regard, it makes today's business environment, we are talking environment, but we are interested in the business environment. Environment so diverse, dynamic, and it's ever changing. Diverse, dynamic, and ever changing. And because of the hyper competition in the business environment due to technology and the changing things fast, organizations need managers who can pull up the network and pull through for the organization. Organization does not need daft managers. They need up and coming, very resourceful, very dynamic, knowledgeable, with all the competencies, the human, the conceptual, the technical skills, well coordinated, having networks, knowing what is going on. What we call, some people will say they know what's up, sort of. It's a clerical terms. So knowing all these things and being able to effectively help the organization to stand. And also there must be, because of the turbulence, the organization need managers who are self-motivated and they can motivate the employees or the subordinates to carry on the purpose of the organization. And they're also able to coordinate them, motivate people, because it's a hyper competition. And managers must have the locus and the focus to stand and to do their work effectively to ensure that the organization succeeds. So wherever you find yourself, after studying these concepts, you should be able to carry on a new leaf, a new strength, bring new knowledge, new abilities of working for your organization. Your organization, whether sponsoring you or not sponsoring you, they must see some skills, knowledge, see new way of doing things to help the organization to grow. And that's what we are supposed to do to help our organizations to achieve their set purpose. So managers, they depend on the subordinates to achieve the purpose of the organization. They are evaluated on the work of others. Now, we have said that managers have a lot to do. The CEOs, the subordinates, managers, supervisors, everyone has a role to play. However, our focus is on the managers. And if managers can help the organization in the turbulent, in diverse, in dynamic, in the unchanging environment, they must focus on innovation and stay competitive. Innovation means invention plus commercialization. The new way of doing things, my brothers and sisters, you cannot continue to do the same thing and achieve different results. It is never true. If you take the lessons from here and you close your books and go and put it down, or you're supposed to even come for lectures and you just come online and you sit somewhere chit-chatting, you can't produce good results. So managers in the organization are expected to be innovative and stay competitive. Because the business environment is volatile. It is highly competitive. Let's take MTN and let's take Telecel. Why would you which one do you use? And why do you use them? Can we share some ideas? Why do you use Telecel and not MTN? Or maybe you are using both. Why do we do that? What do we see in the organizations? How do we see how their products are sold? How do we see how they are resilient and their ability to reach out to customers? How do we see how the way they serve us? Yes, share ideas.
Good morning, madam.
Morning.
Please, my name is Queen Fabiana.
Great.
Okay, so please, madam, I use both MTN and Telecel.
Sure.
And before I use MTN for with the internet purposes, but
Sure.
I switched to Telecel because when I buy their data bundles, it lasts and it's the affordability is affordable. And with MTN, when you buy, and I'm sure most of us are still going through that, it doesn't last. Secondly, with their mobile money transactions, you are able to transfer money to other networks. Before it used to be free, but now their charges are way lesser. And then also when you call regarding issues, let's say reversals, if you make a wrong transaction, their response is very swift. So unlike the other network where you have to wait for 5 working days, sometimes 3 working days, Telecel is able to respond swiftly and correct whatever wrong has been done. So that's my experience. And currently is what I use for my online classes. I use Telecel. So please, that's
wonderful experience there. Wonderful experience. So you have the reasons for remaining with Telecel. Thank you so much. Good. Who has something to share? Who else has something to share? Yes. Who else has something to share? Or not even Telecel and MTN. Any company, the banks, the Momo vendors in your area, the watches seller. The watches seller, sometimes we hop from one watches seller to another watches seller because the steel is sugary, the shito is not nice, the wile is hard. We do that because we have options to choose from. We hop from one business to the other. Then that means that managers working for the organization must always have a new way of doing things to attract one and retain customers. Like our sister told us, she was first with MTN, but she has moved away to Telecel for affordability and all that. So managers must have innovative ideas to stay competitive. Now, not just competitive. What we are saying is that the business environment in Ghana, in abroad, internationally, the world is hyper. Hyper means higher, hyper competitive. Global environment is very diverse, very volatile. Nobody's waiting for you. Organization must innovate more. And their innovation must look at always bringing new products, having new ways of serving people, utilizing new technologies. However, in the midst of all this, they must control costs and maximize profitability. We said the organization must always minimize costs, expenses, and maximize profit. Even that's your life, you should be doing that. Your own personal life, your own finances, you must always minimize costs and maximize profitability. Organization must invest in the future because the future it's what you are, it's not easy. If not, you'll be out of business within a short time. And they must have values, corporate values that makes them dynamic, that sustain the values and the norms. That is very important. Now let's look at how we define management. Now in the organization, we have the managers, and I've told you that earlier that managers must be innovative and must stay competitive. So what is their role then? They are supposed to perform executive function. Do you have managers in your organization, in your workplace? Do you have managers?
Yes, please.
You have managers.
Yes.
What kind of managers do you have? What manager? Accounting manager or finance manager? What do you have?
We have human resource manager.
Good. Human resource manager. Yes.
We also have the top level management. Those are the top.
Yeah,
So the human resource manager and other managers are under them.
Under them. Okay, great.
Yes,
We'll talk about some of them. Yes. We are looking at the middle managers now. Yes. But their function is also executive. Okay. Good. So these managers, they are performing executive function of the organization. They are supposed to build and coordinate the entire system of the organization. They are supposed to create systems. Do you have systems? Do you have procedures? Do you have work flow, work schedules? Do you have structures, what you call the organogram? You have them. And the condition that enable others to perform their tasks. They're supposed to create that. That's why in an organization, we have rules, we have guidelines, we have values. They need to also create the right systems and the right atmosphere. There's a concept called positive work environment. And the positive work environment is supposed to be created by HR managers to ensure that organizations enjoy well-being. Organizations have their conditions are okay, and they are highly engaged, and they are highly coordinated or collaborated to work for the organization. So they have to create right system and positive work environment. They have to ensure that the department or the organization will survive and thrive. Now, what else do you see in your organization? Do you have departments in your organization? Please, do you have departments?
Yes, madam.
Yes, please.
What are the departments?
We have
public
the
affairs.
Yes.
We have the communication department.
Communications department, yes.
we have the finance department.
The finance department,
Audit and evaluation.
Audit. Now let me ask you, why is it the organizations are departmentalized? Why are the organization, in our organizations, we have departmentalized? And now we all don't go and stay together and work. Yes. Yes. Can somebody think?
Madam, please, they do this so as to not to violate specialization.
Very good. It's because of specialization.
Yes, please.
So somebody taught us that management must look at specialization or division of labor. Very good. And there's another thing. What other thing do you think make the organizations have the departments? Because we have different what?
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Madam, please. I'm thinking maybe to be able to monitor and control resources or to plan certain things well in the organization.
Very good. It's part of it. But I'm asking that, why is it that we have departmentalization in our organization? And somebody has said specialization or division. And I'm asking that, what again informs departmentalization?
Hello.
Madam,
Yes.
Yeah.
please, it helps simplifies management control.
Yes, it will help simplify management control. But I want you to think deep about why the department, on what basis does the departmentalization hinges on?
Madam.
Yes.
Yeah, I think for clear accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah.
You know something?
Madam,
Yes.
Madam, I think for efficiency and the productivity.
Yes. But the fact is this, we don't have the same expertise. The accountant has different accounting background, right? The HR has HR background, right? The
Yes.
marketing, the auditing, the name or production. Because depending on what we are doing, we don't have, all of us do not have one qualification. The organization needs different expertise to run. They need different things. That's why we have departmentalization. So managers are supposed to create right systems, environment, and managers to ensure that department or organization survive, or the department they create. But don't forget that organizations may not have the same departments. Some departments in the organization, depend on their mission, what they exist to do may be different from the organization. Like if you take the police service, how their departmentalization is, it's not the same as a university. Please, whoever's phone is, please mute yourself. It will not be the same as a university system. The hospital departmentalization is not the same as a university or a school. Yes. Now we are going to look at authorities. Authorities. People who looked at management and came out with some definitions. One of the person is called Parker Follett. It's called Mary Parker Follett. Now, Mary said that management is the art of getting things done through people. Mary Parker Follett. How do you see Mary's definition? Let's discuss Mary's definition. That for her, management is the art of getting things done through people. Let's reflect on the party we said we are going to do at the end of the semester. With how Mary is defining management, will we be okay? Yes.
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Are you sure?
Yes, madam.
Okay, fine. Who else has a dissenting view?
Madam, please, regarding what Mary said, it draws back to what you said that we all don't have one qualification, and so therefore we need different expertise. In other words, I'm sure if we should have, let's say, 10 people in a room, definitely there's someone who is good. Let's say someone knows the best place to get us drinks. Someone also knows a good venue. And madam, on and on it goes. So please, I agree with her.
Okay, that's excellent. Who else does not agree with Mary Parker Follett? Fully. Who does not agree with Mary Parker Follett? Fully. Yes. Abraham.
Yes, madam.
Do you agree with Mary Parker Follett fully?
Yes, please.
Okay, fine. So
Okay,
let's go to
madam,
yes.
madam,
About
please. Yes, the little I have, the small issue I have with Mary is that, even though it is connecting people for the business to go on, but there should be some laid down structures by management so that this will help to target the performance of workers, their ambition, their purpose, and all these things must be clearly defined or outlined. So I think
all right.
yes, in Mary's definition, such was not found. So that's the problem I have with Mary.
Thank you so much. Let's look at Peter Drucker. Peter Drucker says management gives direction to the organization, provide the leadership, and decide how to use organizational resources to accomplish goals. How do you
I want to
see
get
Drucker's,
it.
how do you see Peter Drucker's definition? Yes. Yes.
Slippers. Something is
Please,
telling you.
Peter Drucker's definition of management. It says management
Keep
gives
telling me something is
direction.
penny. Sure,
Oh, please, don't let me remove you from the class. Management gives direction to the organization, provide leadership, and decide to use organizational resources to accomplish goals. Yes, Peter Drucker's definition.
Yes, so madam, here Peter has said what I was talking about previously. So clearly there is an organizational structure, leadership is there, then also how to fully utilize the resources available to the company. So I think Peter has it for me. Yes.
Okay. So you see, Mary's limitation is that it's getting things done through people. So now, if I want to get things done through you, let's talk about the party. And I don't provide financial resources because it was just talking about people. People as the human resources. Okay, let's move on because I want to teach two different topics. So management is the attainment of organizational goals in an effective and efficient manner. Somebody mentioned that thing. Through planning, organizing, leading, and control organizational resources. It also refers to a process of using the organizational resources to achieve organizational goals by planning, organizing, leading, and control. When we started, we mentioned that one of the learning outcomes is for you to understand the 4 management functions. But let me say that if you read other textbooks, they have more than 4. In our study, we are talking about 4. Other studies redefine leading as directing. They also bring in coordinating. And then they also bring in staffing. Are we interested in these 4? 4 functions of management are the planning, the organizing, leading, and controlling. Now, let me ask you, in your organization, where do you see managers planning? Yes. In what area do you see that, oh, this is planning for organizations? Yes, managers. Yes, by managers. Planning. How does managers plan? They plan what? Oh. What did they plan?
Madam, they plan about the goals of the business, then also the future, what is to be done, say the next few years ahead, 3, 4, 5 years, and all that. and making sure that all that would be achieved through people and the resources. So that's the planning one.
So what are some of the things they plan that you know? Yes. Please, what are some of the things they plan that you know?
Madam, please, goals and objectives.
Yes, but it has a name. Some of them has a name in our organization. They plan for what? They plan them. The organization, they plan so many things. They plan for the strategic planning, budgeting. Organizational goals are planned weekly. They plan for staffing. They have process of doing things. They plan. Don't you have budgets in your, isn't it part of planning? So what else?
Yes.
Tell me. What else? Do you see that this one is planned? Yes.
Madam, please, operational planning.
Thank you. Operational planning. What again? And it was what? How you are going to do certain things. Yes, again.
Operational cost as well.
Cost is also part of the planning. Yes, because you don't just get up and do things. What again? There's so many things always planning. Yes.
Tactical planning.
Capital planning. If they want to do a project. What again? Planning. Tell me planning. And in the planning.
Madam, short-term planning and long-term planning.
Very good. They have short-term, they have medium to long-term planning, strategic planning. They have budgeting, planning for staff. They do succession planning. Who takes over who? Planning. What else do they plan? Yes. Oh. Think about it.
Can we say backup planning?
Yes, they are backup planning. The IT. They are backup planning. If your machine crashes, hey, you are in trouble. Planning. So the organization plans a lot. It's a work of management to plan. The strategy shows the future, where we are going. We plan for the future of the organization. So organization plans so much. Then have goals and resources and future organization, and that is manages. Organizing. Assigning tasks, delegating authority, allocating resources. Do you see that in your organization? In what form? Yes. Yes. In what form? Yes.
Madam, a clear, defined role for each department to carry out.
Awesome. A clear, defined role for each of the departments. So finance people will not go and do HR work. Fantastic. What else? What else do we see? So each have a different task. Responsibilities, roles. If you need resources, who is allocating the resources to you? If you need logistics, paper, pen, computers, they're all well organized. Leading, the use of influence to motivate the employees. Where do we see them? Where do we see them in our organizations? Where do we see them? Yes.
Okay, madam. So with this, the use of supervisors, then managers, coordinators in leading staff. So that is how.
Fantastic. So they monitor and control what is being done in the organization. If not, there will be chaos.
Yes.
In this country, I've observed that if you give people work to do and don't supervise them, you are joking. Supervision. So your boss will call you to bring a report. a weekly report, fortnightly, quarterly, doing appraisals, making sure that you are living up to expectation, motivating people to work. So controlling. Where do you see the monitoring activities and taking corrective action when needed? When you go wrong, do your supervisors leave you?
Yes, yes.
They correct you. They'll sometimes send you a query to respond to. They'll send you a query to respond to. You're always going to work late. You're always giving excuses. You're unable to meet your target. So these are the roles of functions of money. So take note: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. The essence is not just to identify them this way. The essence to be able to identify the real actions in the organization. To say that this instead is the planning the madam is talking about. This is the organizing, this is the leading, and this is the controlling aspect. That's what you need to do. Now, that's what you call the process of management. The process of management. So the organization has resources in different forms, depending on what the organization is doing. They have the human resources, they have the financial resources, the raw materials, technology, information. Now, it's believed that these resources need to be processed well by the management functions in order for the organization to achieve its performance. So if you take plan, it says select goals and ways to attain them. Organize some responsibility to task accomplishment. Use influence to motivate employees for leading. And monitor activities and make corrections controlling. Now, the process of management utilizes the functions of management after the resource. So it's like baggage in, baggage out. What you put in with the help of management. That is why some literature talk about management as the integrated factor. Integrated factor. So the resources, having the functions well integrated, is able to give an outcome, help the organization to perform efficiently or effectively by attaining its goals, by coming out with new products that are liked by customers, by giving right services to the clients, ensuring that the organization is efficient and effective. So the management process is how we utilize resources with the integrating factor of management to achieve the purpose set for the organization. Now, the purpose of organizations, if you remember the three, we said the management exists to ensure that there's efficiency, there's effectiveness, and there is better results, known as organizational performance. So the organization is a social entity. It has a goal. It has structure, deliberate structures. Now, people are the human resources. The people come with their knowledge, their skills, their expertise, the raw materials that the organization provides to perform a task, either to produce water, to produce machines, anything that we know. However, when the organization commits resources, money, people, infrastructure, offices, everything, they have to make sure that they are achieving two things very important to every organization, that they are achieving effectiveness or efficiency. So we define effectiveness as the degree to which organization achieve goals. And you hear the term doing the right things. Doing the right things. Usefulness and being quality. Now, let me give you a simple scenario. And then efficiency is the use of minimal resources to produce desired output, or how well resources are used. So efficiency is doing things right. Now, productiveness and quantity. So remember our case that we are going to have a party at the end of our lessons, our camp. So Abraham calls Stephen. Stephen says that, I think that the party, if you give me 5,000, how many are we? We are 15. I'll be able to organize a party, hire a venue, music, food, drinks. I mean, bring in artists to entertain us. Give me 5,000 and I'll be able to serve 15 people. Then Vanessa says that, Abraham also tell Vanessa, how do you intend help us do this part? And Vanessa said that, oh, I can use 3,000 to still bring artists, food, buffet. There'll be dessert, first course, the main meal, then dessert. Oh, I'll bring in Kofi Kanata. I'll bring in Shatawale, hey, to entertain us. The venue can get a place that will not pay for. So Vanessa is able to do, somebody say something. So Vanessa tells Abraham, I can do with 3,000. Who is effective and who is efficient? Yes, tell me. Who is effective and who is efficient? Did you get my story at all?
Yes, madam.
Yes,
Madam.
yes.
So who is effective and who is efficient?
Vanessa is
Vanessa
efficient.
is efficient.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And Stephen is effective.
Yes,
It's
madam.
not that they are wrong. What it means is that Stephen says I can utilize 5,000 and also accomplish the goals. So that is effectiveness. Organizations sometimes are effective. It's better to be effective than ineffective. But the best of it is efficiency. How you use minimal resources also to achieve the same goal, the desired goals. So we talk about efficiency as doing things right. Take note of the difference. Doing the right things is effectiveness. And doing things right is efficiency. I think during the course of our discussion, somebody mentioned top management. Top management. We call that types or levels of management. Or managerial levels. Now, when you go to your organization, like somebody explained to us, the top people. So we see the top managers, the CEOs, we see middle managers, or sometimes we see general managers, middle manager, first line managers. Can somebody show me vertical? What is vertical? The vertical difference. I hope you know vertical. I'm sure you know vertical, right?
Yes, madam.
Yes, yes,
So
madam.
top. From down to top, what a vertical. But at the same time, we see some management levels too. we see that the functional departments, they also relating to each other. And there's one important thing that comes out. We call the line and the staff functions. Who is a line, performing a line function? Who is performing a staff function? We see that they are parallel. They go together. The functional department has to advertise, manufacturing, sales, marketing, HR, they go together. And they include both line and staff. We'll describe line and staff more later. So this is what we are talking about. You see the CEO, vice president of administration. This is just example in a hierarchical structure. It doesn't mean every organization has it this way. Corporate or group head. And these people are top managers. And you see, they have responsibilities towards the middle managers and first line. You see the business unit heads, administrator, general manager. You see departmental manager, product line, or service manager. Just example, formation service manager. Now you see the functional heads. As the pyramid gets to the base, it is broader. People at these levels may also have horizontal project manager responsibilities. So they say that, yes, not only the middle managers, they may also have horizontal, not only vertical. And then the non-managerial employees, line jobs, and staff jobs. Now, let me ask you, what is the difference between a line function and a staff function in the organization? Who is a line manager? Who is a staff manager? Yes. Can somebody explain to us? Oh, it's so easy. Yes. Okay, so let me explain. In the organization, there are some people whose roles or functions are exactly what the business of the organization is. For instance, I am teaching. GCTU is an institution, educational institution that imparts knowledge. I am imparting knowledge, so I am a line, performing a line function. If GCTU has a legal officer, a lawyer, solicitor, that solicitor is there to help the organization that we don't get into any legal battles. So that person's function is a staff function. His core business or his role is not the core business of the organization. So the line managers, their core business or their core functions relates to the business of the organization. But the staff are those who are supplementing, supporting responsibilities for the organization. Now, if it is a law firm, the staff in the staff now becomes line because that is what they exist to do. Now, what would be like to be a manager? We have told that the manager's job is diverse, complicated, and ever-changing. So managerial tasks can be classified into characteristics and rules. We have discussed the 4 functions. We are now describing characteristics and role of a manager. And we are saying that the work of the manager or the managerial tasks can be divided into characteristics and rules. And we'll look at some of them. Most managers enjoy activities such as leading role, others network and lead innovation. Some managers dislike controlling subordinates and all that. So sometimes they experience burnout because the first line supervisors experience most job burnout because they are doing almost all the work. Then after a while, they become managers. Now they are not doing the work, they are doing the work through people. I said, sure, establish strong identity. Now, individual supervisor now moving to a manager has a role changing. As initially he was doing specializing and performing most of the tasks. When he moves to a manager, he's now asking people to work for him. So generally, he coordinates and diverse tasks. He gets things done through his own efforts if you're a supervisor. But now becoming a manager, you get things done through people. An individual actor now, you have to build network to work. And you work relatively independently, but now you interdepend on people. Let's move on to the managerial skills. It's one of the learning outcomes that managers must exhibit some managerial skills. One of it is the conceptual skills. Conceptual skills talk about the intelligence. So if a manager is daft, nobody will want to work with him or her. So the manager must exhibit cognitive ability to see the organization as a whole system. This skill calls for the ability to think analytically. There are some skills that are always impressed upon students to acquire. One of it is analytical skills, problem-solving skills, presentation skills, public speaking skills. There are things you must acquire them as you study. You will not be taught. Critical thinking skills. I always impress upon a student that acquire them. And now it's IT, technological skills, digitalization skills. You need to acquire them yourself. So conceptual skills are important for managers to show their cognitive abilities regarding the work they are doing and how they relate with people, human skills. Some people are mean for nothing. You'll be working with people and they are mean for nothing. They hate people, they hate women, they hate men, they hate everybody that comes into contact with them. Those people that have poor interpersonal skills. The world rallies all about them. If it's about them, it's the best. But managers are not supposed to exhibit those characters. They're supposed to have the human skills, ability to work with people and through people, to show respect and mutual respect, to show empathy to people, to show kindness to people. That is not to make sure that they are weak, but that is to show the human nature of who they are. So they're supposed to have human skills, ability to work with other people to people. The technical skills is that maybe you are an engineer. You must have the technical competences to do your work. Understanding the proficiency in the performance of specific tasks. So if you're a teacher, a lecturer, and you are teaching, you must show proficiency of the subject that you are teaching. And that is very important. Managers must exhibit conceptual, human, and technical skills. Now, these skills show some relationship at certain managerial levels, or shows the quantum that are required at certain managerial levels. One of it is that, you see, they all require conceptual, top managers, middle managers, first-line managers, and non-managers. They all require conceptual skills. But when it comes to human skills, you see that the non-managers require very less. When it comes to the technical skills, you see that top managers also require less. But the non-managers require more technical skills. Very, very important. Now, why is it that managers, in spite of all the beautiful things that we are learning, they might have learned it in their school days, but they fail? They fail because they don't communicate well. Poor communication leads to failure in executing or showing their skills. And then failure to listen. Listening is a virtue. If you're a manager, a leader, you need to have a listening ears. But listening doesn't mean that if anybody can say anything, you accept it. You listen, and like the funnel questioning type, you need to read in between the lines, because people can sometimes also frame people to come and tell you things. So you need to listen. You must have the discernment to know what is true. Poor interpersonal skills, the same as the human skills, makes them feel they're treating employees as instruments. They don't regard them, they regard as a variable cost instead of playing a very important, human beings, literature says they are the greatest asset of every organization. And that's very important. Failure to clarify direction and performance expectations. We have said earlier that the manager's role, tax rather, can be classified into characteristics and roles. Characteristics and roles. So we'll look at managerial roles very soon. Managers perform diverse amount of work. The variety, fragmentation of the tasks required multitasking. So one manager may be doing many things, and they have to shift gears quickly to do their work. Now there's a man called Mansberg. This man says that managerial roles, I've told you the tasks of the manager can be divided into roles and characteristics. So we have looked at functions, we have looked at skills. We are now looking at managerial roles. That this man categorized managerial roles into 3. He called the first one informational role, informational category, interpersonal category, and decisional category. Now, under this categorization, he has roles. Under informational roles, he has 3 roles. Under informational category, he has 3 roles. Under interpersonal category, he has another 3 roles. Under decisional category, he has 4 roles. And in each of the roles, he specified activities that will be done. He says the role of the manager under informational category is that the manager is a monitor. The manager must monitor around, seek and receive information and provide to the subordinates, scan periodicals, look for information that pertains to the organization, the competitiveness that is going on, the business models people are using, the marketing strategies they are adopting. He needs to know what is going on in the environment, even with regards to payment, how they are motivating their employees to work for them. The manager must monitor, and he must share. That is the disseminator. When he gets the information, not keep it to himself or herself. He should share the information, forward to organization members, send memos and reports, making phone calls, telling them, teaching them, and also spokesperson. Now, when there's an issue in the organization, we have the university, for instance, we have the university relations. Some call them the public relations. They have to share information about the organization to the public. And it's the role of the manager, so they're spokesperson. They share information to outsiders through their speeches, through their reports and memos. Now, interpersonal, according to Mansberg category, the manager is a figurehead. That's his role. He performs ceremonial or symbolic duties such as when there are visitors, is the manager that will go and greet visitors. Or when there's something to be signed, legal things, it's not everybody's managers. Leader, he directs and motivates the subordinates, train people, counsel them, share ideas, communicate with them. Liaison, he becomes a middle person. maintain formable links inside and outside the organization. Sometimes they become a liaison between managers, the top management, and the subordinates, and sometimes also to the outside world, using email and whatnot. Now, that decisional role category, the entrepreneur, the step handler, he has to make sure that the organization have some projects, identify new ideas, delegate idea responsibly, and all that. When there's conflict, they have to set up committees to settle them, take collective action, and resolve conflicts among subordinates, and they should ensure peace. Resource allocator, decide who gets what resource. If there's a company car, who should be given, an office, who should be given, computers, who should be given, and set budget. Negotiator, he needs to negotiate between the departments, union, contracts, if they have to, sales, whatever, budgets, and represent departmental interests. So it means that taught us about 3 categories, but 10 rules, all those activities. Again, it's also telling us how much of liaison rule, leader and liaison rules. And he says that it is very important for supervisory managers to play high leadership roles. And then middle managers also play leadership roles. And top management also play leadership roles. The importance of that, leader and liaison roles. Now, managing small business and non-profit organization, they all need management. The micro and the small business person or business, the tabletop, they all need to have some managerial skills. But small businesses are growing in importance, and they don't like the management. They don't have it, the management skills, because they are doing everything. A small business is an accountant, is a payee, is a HR, is a production manager, is everything. So they are inefficient. So management functions, roles, characteristics, they apply to everyone, even including non-profit organizations. So to make non-profit organization effective, they have to apply management functions so that they don't struggle to be effective. Now, the new workplace is changing due to the digitalization. You see that in terms of technology, the old place was mechanical, would have met in class, but now digitalization. So making the work flexible. You are in your home probably, and virtual. That's what we are doing now. Initially would have been structured, come to class, and localized workforce. And because of that, people are empowered. They have diverse ways to work. But in the whole workplace, local employees are so homogeneous. And the management competencies are also changing. Leadership is more about empowering people to do the work. They do the work in teams. The kind of relationship they build is a collaboration. But in the old workplace, autocratic leaders, hey, do before complain, like the forces. Each person work in silos. There were more conflicts and competition. So now managers are learning to move away from control mindset and become more like coaches, providing guidance. They're making the organization more, creating organizations that are fast, flexible, innovative, and relationship-oriented. We said that we also want to understand the difference between management and administration. Now, somebody called Theo Herman defined administration and management. Yes, How do you call your top management in your organization? Sometimes we hear the term management. Management say, or administration. What have we been saying? How do you call them?
Administration.
Administration. Okay. So administration and management, are they the same? That's what we want to know. Now, administration says, Theo says that those who determine, when the organization is formed and we determine policies, we're able to set major objectives. We are able to have our purpose, and we lay them down through broad programs and projects. Functioning of the organization in its entirety is administration. But management is where we have people who think, initiate, and bring together the various ways of managing, planning, organizing, integrating the diverse organizational components, at the same time making the organization viable towards their predetermined goals. So organization is set up. Administration is about how the whole entire thing is. But then how it is carried out. So the policies are made, the processes are made, the workflow schedules are made, but who implements them? It's managed. In other words, it's an art of getting things done to people, with the people in the formally organized groups. So we have these bases to define what management and what administration is. Let's get, Abraham, take the first one. Meaning of management and administration. Yes, read it. Management.
Management is an art of getting things done through others by directing their efforts towards achievement of predetermined goals.
And administration.
It is concerned with formulation of broad objectives, plans, and policies.
Thank you. Josephine, take nature.
Nature. Management is an executing function. Administration. Administration is a decision-making function.
Thank you. Jennifer. Jennifer.
Hello, madam.
Yes, process. Take process.
Okay. So under management, management decides who should as it and how should he or she do it. And under administration, administration decides what is to be, no, what is to be done and when it is to be done, please.
Thank you. Queen, take function.
Yes, madam. Management. Management is a doing function because managers get work done under their supervision. Administration is a thinking function because plans and policies are determined under it. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much. And then Vida, skills.
Madam, under management, conceptual, technical, and human skills. And under administration is conceptual and human skills.
Musa, thank you. Musa level. Musa. Opoku, yeah, hello. Steven. Yes, Steven.
Madam, please,
Yes.
under management for level, we have top, medium, and lower level function. Then under the administration, we have top level function. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we use these variables to distinguish between management and administration. And you see the degree of it in different levels. You see administration, middle level, and lower level. So administration should be top management level issue, middle level, and lower level for management. Any question? Any question for me?
Madam, please, with the diagram that you just showed,
Yes.
please, if I can see the diagram, should I ask me a question? Okay, thank you. So over here with the management, meaning the top level people are very few, right?
Yes. So they are more concerned about administration of the organization than management. Even though you see that all of them have something to do. Management is for lower, middle. Top management don't manage so much. They have to look at the bigger picture, administration.
All right, thank you, madam.
Okay. Any question again?
Madam,
Yes.
please, I want to ask this. So can there be in an organization, can there be a situation whereby there isn't in a business organization whereby there isn't a proper laid out administration, but there is management to manage the affairs of the company?
Okay, so what happens is that this administration we are talking about and saying top management and all that, there may be some people here at the top or middle who are part of the administration who will sit down and say, this is the broader things we want to do. This is what we need. So those who sit down and plan and put structures in place, that thing they do forms administration. Yes, so it may be possible that some organization or companies may not, the way they were formed, sit downs rather, and do proper administrative function because they are the ones doing everything. So anything goes, it's possible. But those who set up, it's required of them that they lay them down well. Sometimes people don't know. Or sometimes they're also there, but because it's not being well communicated, people don't see it. But in every organization, look, you see the broader. Let me give you an example, for instance. The NGOs that have different units, they are located in different countries. Sometimes you say that this is from the head office. So the head office is administration. The information from head office says this. Everything from head office. So head office becomes the administration we are talking about. Then the management, the functioning or the execution of what has been brought from head office is the management thing we are talking about.
Okay. So the two has to work together.
Oh, of course, they do.
Okay.
So in effect, it's like somebody come out with a plan or something and it's executed. But if I use plan, I'm wrong because planning is done by management. So
Yes.
the broader concept that they want to do, in fact, it is interwoven. They are interrelated. They are all working for the good of the organization.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam, please, there is this one question. Before someone is being considered as a top manager, Madam, please, what are some qualification or some kind of things that they consider before? Because someone can be in one company, maybe the person hasn't gotten a degree, so the person can be in the company for maybe 5 years, and then this person get the same position, no upgrade or nothing. But the person has been in the company for maybe 5 years, but still lower staff.
Okay. I teach human resource management. And one of the things about career progression is that some of the organizations, especially the private organization, they don't care about career progression or career development of the employees. So you can mark time at one place for a very long time. And what I advise students is that you must study the environment. And if you have to educate yourself, go to school, educate yourself, and look for opportunities. Because one of the best things is for organizations to do is to help you develop your talent, help you to progress, and help you to go forward. But if you're in an organization that there's no plan for progression, and you're just some people have been in an organization for 20 years, they are supervisor and they remain so till they retire. That is very wrong. Now, the prerequisites for becoming a CEO or manager or whatever is very definite requirements or designed by the organization itself. So the organization may say that to go forward, to become the CEO, you must have a degree, you must work for the organization for 10 years, you must have the requisite knowledge, skills, competence. Everything shows that the work that you have been doing for the organization, if you are given the nod, you can do more. So the lay down, that's why when you see adverts, when there's advert, they tell what they are looking for. The advert tell us what they are looking for. So the organizations or companies have their own lay down policies. Their own lay down policies.
All right, Madam, please, thank you.
All right. Excuse me. Hello. Yes. Morning. I'm fighting. Okay, so entrepreneurship, do you want us to meet face-to-face or online? All right, no problem. No problem. So it's what time? 4. Okay, so we'll do some 5 to 7. Okay, all right, thank you. So 5, I'll call. Bye. So, so that's it. It's you have to know what the requirements are in the organization. But sometimes too, if today I wanted to do 2 topics because I missed last, but you don't have much time. So let me start and then see what can be done. Now, are you all working? Are you in Accra or you're outside Accra?
Madam, I'm outside Accra.
Oh, okay. Okay. The rest, are you all in Accra?
Please, some are
Madam,
in
some
Accra, some are
of us are in
outside.
Accra.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Now, our second topic has to do with the evolution of management thinking. Now, listen to the word very well. The evolution of management thinking. So, how did the word management came to be? How did people begin to think that this thing is called management? That's what we are going to do with our second lecture. And so the learning outcome must understand historical, must identify some history of management thoughts, what people thought, the classical and the humanistic management perspectives, the management science perspective, the systems theory, the contingency view, the total quality management, the learning organization, supply chain management, customer relation management, and outsourcing. In fact, the whole concept is about thinking. Thinking. So somebody thought about this. Someone said, oh, what you have said is good, but you didn't look at this. Thinking. Management and managers are undergoing tremendous change. Now, past strategies are no longer effective in today's dynamic business environment, even though some are relevant. But we are interested in the history. So the evolution is history. History of management thinking. We want to understand history, what history provides. And then, take note, my friends, we are looking at perspective. Provides perspective and broader view of people on what management should be about. So what that we are going to do with this class is that we should look at perspective. But the most important thing is that managers must understand these perspectives, must find patterns and insights from history to guide them as they manage. Because they're supposed to look at the social factors in the organization, the culture, the values, the political forces, the political stability of a nation, the legal implications, economic factors that affect their organization, availability of funds, distribution of resources. So managers face environmental turbulence. Now the whole second topic, slide 2, is dependent on this. Because they're giving us management perspectives over time. The management perspectives look at the classical perspective. It gives us the humanistic perspective. We will understand management perspective from the management science. We'll look at the systems theory, contingency theory, total quality management, the learning organization, the technology-driven workplace, which is today. So the whole perspective, the whole evolutionary thinking, management thinking rests on this, and it's very, very important. The importance of going back to this history is that there are patterns and provide insights to today managers. The first one is called classical. Now, I want you to pay attention because each of them has other subsets. Each has subsets, and I want you to pay attention. The first one is a classical perspective. Now, this brought up early study of management from the 19th to the late 20th century. Now, the classical perspective, like we said, is perspective. What's the meaning of perspective? What somebody thinks. An opinion. So, under that, there were three-pronged approach. Classical perspective has three subsets. scientific management, bureaucratic organizations, and administrative principles. When we take the classical perspective to understand management evolution, we are looking at the scientific management component propounded by Frederick Taylor. We are looking at the bureaucratic organizations, which was also propounded by Max Weber. And we are looking at the administrative theories by Henry Fayol. So these are very, very important. And that was the way they thought about management. They are very powerful. They gave companies fundamental skills for high productivity. If you look at the diagram, you see 1870 to 1880 to 2010. So you see, long time ago, that's why we say 19th century and the late 20th century, these were done. These management perspectives, thinking came about. And according to history, some of these classical perspectives, especially scientific management, bureaucratic organizations, and administrative theories, helped U.S. companies to surge in management techniques because it provided them ideas of how to manage their companies. Now, the propounder of one of the classical theories is called Frederick Winslow Taylor. Do you see him?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Now, this man, he's called father of scientific management. Now, under classical perspective, after we have three: scientific, bureaucratic, and administrative. And this man is the one. Now, let's try to understand what his contributions were, how he understood management, how he thought that management should be. And there are two ways to describe his thinking about scientific management. He talked about the features and principles. Now, this man says that for organizations to manage well, they have to separate planning and doing. The one who is planning and the one who is implementing the plan, they shouldn't be the same. He emphasized that the planners, in other words, managers that we have learned they plan, should be left to supervisors. At that time, he didn't talk about managers, he's talking about supervisors. And the worker or the subordinates should only emphasize operational work. So before Taylor's scientific management, workers used to plan. So if I'm working, I will plan and I'll also implement it and do the work and have the instruments that are necessary for me to do my work. But Taylor said for scientific, no, the worker was put under the supervisor. So you see how we now have supervisors. Initially, you are the worker, you are everything, you are doing your thing. He brought in supervisors and he called them gang boss. Don't we still use the word boss? Do you call your boss? Do you call your boss?
Yes, we do.
So he brought the idea. So you see the importance, when we go through thoroughly, you will see that the importance of this, the long time ago classical perspective, in our today management as well. He also talked about functional foremanship. Taylor developed a functional organization in which one foreman was made in charge of each function. Our departmental, don't you have one person in charge of that department? Oh, speak to me.
Yes, please.
So functional organization. the functional units. He also talked about job analysis. He said you cannot give anybody job. You have to analyze what the person is going to do. And that, to find out one best way of doing the thing, he says, find out, do analysis. Analysis, we understand. Job, we understand. And according to him, interestingly, the best way of doing the job is one which requires the least movements. So for him, if you are working, you should be stationary. You don't move a lot. Because for him, moving a lot means you are wasting time and cost. So there were some studies to show and prove that the time study, we found out the least time required to complete a movement. The motion study that was done to find out the movements required to complete the job by eliminating all the necessary movements. And the fatigue study, the amount and frequency of rest required in completing the work. So he says that do job analysis, don't move. People should not move. When am I supposed to close?
11:15, please.
Okay. He also brought what we call standardization. He brought what we call standardization. He said that when people are working, then we should have standards. Maintain respect of instrument that we need, the tools, the period of amount of work, conditions of work for everything. And this should be a fixed in advance on the basis of job analysis and various elements. Of course, standard. Don't you even have a standard board or standard authority? Standard. He also brought in something called scientific selection and training of workers. He said that you should use science to train people, to recruit people, to select people. Everything should be based on science. That is Frederick Taylor. The workers should be selected on scientific basis, science. Your education, your work experience, your attitude. Previously, we used to have people going for interview. They will do aptitude tests. Your physical strength. We don't have to recruit people just like that, looking at your face. No. Bring all your documents. Let's examine it. The worker should be given a work for which is physically and technically most suitable. Emphasis should be given on the training of workers, which makes them more efficient and effective. Scientific. Then he brought in another thing as one of the features called financial incentives. He says, you cannot let people to work for you, you don't pay them. Now, how many of you will go to work and do pro bono? How many? Will you do pro bono? Me, I won't do pro bono. Yes. Are you all working though? Let me find out.
Yes, madam.
Will you do pro bono? Or you don't understand pro bono?
Madam, please, I'm
No, madam.
pro bono.
Oh, pro bono means doing the work free.
Work for Nyame.
Free, okay?
We will not do it.
Pro bono.
Pro bono. Oh, some of the lawyers, they do pro bono for the underprivileged in society who don't have money. They do pro bono. They can have a legal support for you, services for you without taking any money. We call it pro bono. But Frederick Taylor says that no, nobody should do pro bono. Everyone should be motivated to work. Financial incentives can motivate people to work. And they work to their maximum effort. If provisions exist to earn higher wages by putting extra effort, workers will be motivated. Don't you do overtime and take extra money?
Yes, madam.
So Taylor brought the idea that you have to have a system and he called that incentive system. Taylor's wage incentive is known as the Taylor's differential piece rate plan. So in fact, he supported workers that managers must ensure that workers are well paid. Let me put it that way. He also said that when management, one feature also under it is that they should look at the economy. If the economy is good, they make more profit, then they should support the staff. So the economy should be given considerable thing by the economy and profit. For this purpose, techniques for cost estimation control should be adopted. So that is the efficiency we are talking about. Minimize cost, maximize profitability. The economy and profit can be achieved by making resources more productive as well as eliminating waste. That's another feature. There's one feature he talked about long time ago. It is recently that we are using it. Mental revolution. Now you know that organizations are being advised to help employees with their mental health. Has your organization been doing that? Mental health. They say that recent study says that all of us in the world, we are mad. The only difference between us and the real mad people is that we haven't removed our clothes. People are depressed. People are going through difficult times, but they come to work. They are mentally abused. Husbands are abusing their wives. Wives are abusing their husbands. People are worried. They are caring for their children. Their salaries are not enough. Their parents are sick. Their rent is due. Oh my goodness. So, but in spite of all the challenges people are facing, some are into drugs, alcohol, and they come to work. Organizations must check the mental revolution of people. Now, study says that organizations must support people with mental health, counseling, and mental health. Counseling and mental health. But when Frederick Taylor was talking about, he said that scientific management depends on the mutual cooperation between management and workers. So management and workers, there should be mutual cooperation. And the cooperation should be mental change in both parties, from conflict to cooperation. So when there's a problem, there should be mutual understanding, he called that mutual cooperation to solve the problem. And that not only the subordinates should be reprimanded, mutual cooperation. Mutual cooperation. So, Frederick Winslow Taylor, 1856 to 1915, father of scientific management, focused on improving efficiency and labor productivity. Workers should be retooled like machines. Managers will need to change. Incentive systems for meeting standards. Others added to his theory. So when he did the theories, others like Frank and Lillian Gilbert also added the human components. They criticized him that he's like, for instance, the no movement, least movement. So human beings cannot work like that. So they also came out with studies like the emotion study and all that. So if you look at this scientific management, a general approach is that it came up with the standard method for performing each job in the organization. It also came up with how we should select workers with appropriate abilities for each job. How we should also train workers in the standardized methods. How we should support workers by planning their work and eliminating interruptions. how we can provide wage incentives to workers for increased output. His contribution shows that he demonstrated the importance of compensation salaries for performance and initiated the careful study of tax and jobs. He demonstrated the importance of personal selection and training. However, he has been criticized. He did not appreciate the social context of work. He says that human beings, we are social beings. Even though Taylor had beautiful ideas, he did not talk about the social context of work and that the higher needs of workers more than just the salaries. He did not acknowledge variance among them, the differences. Personality trait talks that we are different people, we are diverse people. He treated people as a variable cost, that we are the same, homogeneous. And he tended to regard workers as uninformed and ignore the ideas and suggestions. So, folks, let me end here. And we shall continue next week. Any other question for me? Any other question? Who said internal external madness? Abraham.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, folks, that's where we end today so that you can have your next class. I wish you all the best. We'll continue.
All right. Thank you very much.
You can have a chat if there's time, one of the evenings. Usually my Monday is off, my Friday off.
Okay.
Any other of the evenings, if you are free, we can continue so that we are par.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let me know. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bye. So I will share the slides. You know, when they told me I haven't done anything on them. So if you like, I'll share the slides. Are you all able to access the module platform?
Yes, please. But you can share with me, then I'll share with the class.
Okay, all right. That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.